If y'all have been keeping up with JJK recently, y'all know Megumi and Yuji got sent to go recruit Hakari. They're on the way to his fight club, the illegal one. Y'all know Hakari, he gonna get his bag one way or another. It can be illegal or legal, it doesn't matter. He just got a real mindset. Before Yuji and Megumi can go there though, they gotta change their clothes. Cause y'all know Hakari got suspended, so if he sees anybody from Jujutsu High, you know damn well you're not getting nowhere near him. Once they get fully fitted, they go straight for the fight club. And before we move on, I want you guys to take a look at this one scene. It's a simple scene. All it is Yuji picking up a parking gate. And them niggas at Mappa put more effort into that one little scene than One Punch Man did their whole season 3. As soon as they entered the parking garage, this one beefy dude comes up and he throws a punch at Megumi. But he didn't flinch at all. He didn't move a muscle. He on his Kobe shit. Ain't no way I just compared this to Kobe. Let's just act like I ain't say that, alright? This stays between us. He asked him how he found out about the fighting club. And Megumi was like, oh, this one guy killed a month ago wouldn't shut up about it. And we all know that's a lie. But this guy right here didn't. And it turns out somebody from the fight club went missing a month ago. So everything worked out. Yuji just sat there quiet. He seen Megumi was cooking, so he was like, let him cook. Megumi's plan was to fight in the place of the guy that went missing. And Lil Dude made the boss call. He asked and he said it's all good, but you're not fighting. The boss does not like your ass. Instead, Yuji would be fighting in his place. And at the end of the day, their plan was to get one person in there, so it doesn't matter who was the one that went in. Preferably though, Megumi was the one that was supposed to go in because he knows his way around with words. And I can't say the same about Yuji, but it is what it is. They still got in. Yuji's getting walked to his first fight and all he has to do is wow the crowd. There is rules in this fight club though, just 2 of them. The first one is do not run away. We don't need no bitches in here. And the second one is you can't use jujutsu techniques. The audience is mostly non-sorcerers, so they wouldn't even be able to see it. And the whole point of this fight club is to entertain them. So if they can't see it, there's no point in using them. Yuji walks into the arena and immediately he gets a fat ass smile on his face. Why is that? Because his opponent is none other than Panda.
Let's get ready to rumble!
The fight's about to start and we finally get our first glimpse of Hakari. And he's just chilling there watching a fight with his girl Kirara, however you say that shit. Yuji and Panda start fighting, but they're not really throwing any hits for real. They're just trying to make it entertaining enough so Yuji can get the call up from Hakari. Ah, look at this, bro. This is the worst acting ever. But for what it's worth, they made this fight a spectacle. This is like WrestleMania type entertainment, bro. They taking it to the next level. Even me, a who knew who was gonna win, was still entertained and wanted to see who was gonna win. Like, look at this hook Panda through. Made that nigga do a whole 360. But y'all know everything great gotta come to an end. So Yuji dug deep and got in his JoJo's bag. He hit that dude Panda with the and then the last punch sent him flying, kind of, into a wall, ending the fight. After Yuji won, there was a shady guy in the crowd, and he was on the phone talking with Hakari. I like that little nigga. Keep an eye on him. Yuji's getting closer to the call-up, but Megumi still needs to find a way to the top of the parking garage. That's where Hakari is, by the way. He meets up with Panda and they start conversating. Panda tells Megumi, I've been trying to meet with Hakari for a good minute now, but Kirara, his girl, she has an ability where you can't get anywhere near him. So even though Yuji found a way in there to talk to him, Megumi and Panda still need one. Yuji has been cooking people in his fight club, bro. He really want that call-up. Man, it's so easy for him. He started emoting on people he beat. Eventually, the hard work paid off and he finally got the call-up. Kirara starts walking him to Hakari, and this is where Yuji gotta lock in. This is the most important part. He gotta get Hakari to join the culling games. It's a must. Yuji walks in and they start talking. The conversation is normal at first. And by normal, I mean like normal for a person that runs the illegal fight club. Hakari tells Yuji, would you believe me if I told you you can make $1 million a month by working 1 hour a day? And Yuji's like, oh shit, put me on. And Hakari's like, the sauce ain't free, little brother. You gotta pay me 200 bands. And Yuji seen through that lie like it was nothing. He said, you sound like them tap in niggas. Y'all know who I'm talking about? They be on their Instagram, the scammer guys. They be like, oh, Huntington Green, Chase Green, tap in. Money on the floor. Man, ain't no money on the floor. My account balance about to touch the floor. You would think nobody would fall for that, but so much people do. I know people personally that fell for that. And Hakari told Yuji he likes people like that because they have passion, I guess. He likes them because people with passion get carried away and make rash decisions. And y'all know what that sounds like? Gambling. That's why he likes it, because he loves gambling. If Hakari was real, he would be a rainbat nigga, no doubt. Hakari loves passion because passion is gambling and gambling is life. In the middle of the conversation, Hakari's phone starts to ring. At first, he doesn't pay it much mind and he just goes to grab a drink. And when somebody that, like, I want to say high level, but you know what? Let's say high level. Someone that high level ignores the phone call, Yuji, you gotta take a hint. But just the phone call alone didn't really do much. Hakari asks Yuji another question. He says, what do you think about Gojo? And this Yuji is so stupid. Bro, he says... This nigga says, I don't know who that is. Nigga, who doesn't know who Gojo is? I know Sukuna was in there trying his hardest not to laugh at that bullshit. Bro, in JJK, the moment you're born, they tell you about Gojo. And the moment you die, at your funeral, where they're giving eulogies, they're talking about Gojo. You thought they were talking about you? No. So the fact that Yuji could sit there and say, who's Gojo, is absolutely nuts. Hakari thought the exact same thing. He asked Yuji, why do you say you don't know Gojo? Everybody knows Gojo. And he instantly thought, this dude is from Jujutsu High. Hakari finished his last shot and then slammed it onto the table. And this is where Yuji realized, yeah, it's over for me. He slowly put the shot glass down, and then he started begging like the Jordan meme. Like, look at this, bro, he's cooked. Hakari didn't want to hear that shit, so he threw his shot glass at him. And then he got up and started comboing Yuji. He picks Yuji up off the floor, and then they go face to face. Yuji starts asking him to just hear him out, and Hakari is like, I don't want to hear none of that shit. But while all that's happening inside with Hakari and Yuji, right outside, Megumi and Panda are trying to find their way up there. Megumi was moving in the shadows, taking guards out one by one. He popping out, putting them in the craziest locks. Toji definitely left his ass in Dagestan for 2-3 years and forgot. Panda also had his own little technique. He was playing cute and cuddly and then popped out and hit him with some fa. You know what Panda remind me of, bro? He remind me of that one bear in the woods that was hitting that combo on bro. After Panda beat bro's ass, he had the audacity to snatch bro's snack. When bro wake back up, he gonna have a crazy migraine and an empty stomach. That's messed up, Panda. Panda and Megumi make it to the top, and when they get there, they think Kirara is hanging out with Hakari. They don't know Yuji's in there, so they decide to go to the door quick, but luck was not on their side, because right when they were about to do it, Kirara shows up. She instantly notices Panda, and she's like, what's happening right now? And then she notices Megumi was the one that walked in with Yuji, and then she put 2 and 2 together, and then figured out that they were from Jujutsu High. She reaches for her phone so she can let Hakari know, but Megumi instantly stops her with his divine dog. As soon as it got close enough for a little tap, it got sent flying back at Megumi. Megumi was confused on why his dog couldn't get close to her. And then we see this weird blue light that indicates like she basically marked you. Kirara makes a break for the door, and Panda's trying to tell her, we're not trying to hurt you or Hakari. We just need your help. She wasn't buying it, so Megumi tried to send his dog again. But this time, instead of the dog getting sent back at him, he got sent back at the dog. Megumi is confused at what her curse technique could even be about. So instead of trying to fight her again, he tries telling her the real. He's like, we need your help, gang. Hakari too, especially. Actually, I don't even need your help. We need Hakari. You see all those barriers around the place, bro? There's terrorism going on, and then you're trying to stop us from saving the world. And she low-key starts spitting, I can't even lie. She said, y'all the ones that got rid of us. Jujutsu High don't mess with us, so why do we gotta mess with y'all? And that's completely reasonable. I can't even argue with that. Kirara asked them, she's like, y'all have LeBron. Why do y'all need me? Y'all have Gojo. And Megumi was like, bro, they locked the goat up. He's gone. And she ain't believe a single word of what he just said. Cause who the hell locking up Gojo? If you don't know what happened at Shibuya, you're not believing a word of that. Megumi knew how important it was to convince them, so he said, let me just fight them, and then after I win, I'll let them know the real. He summons a whole bunch of rabbits, and then immediately he notices something. On each of the rabbits, it says a crux. And then he looks back at the door, and it says, crux? God crux? I don't know, bro. Kirara wasn't worried though. She knew the same thing that happened to that dog is gonna happen with those rabbits. They're gonna all fly back at Megumi and then they're gonna suffocate him. But he instantly got rid of all the rabbits. He wasn't trying to attack with them. He was trying to see what they can get close to and what they can't get close to. And hey, usually I hate on whatever, but that was kind of smart. Hey, keep cooking then, Lil Meg. He asked Panda, he says, hey, did you see what it could get close to and what it couldn't? And Panda was like, yeah. It got close to me and it got close to the second floor, but it couldn't get close to Kirara or the door. Then Megumi asked him, do you have a star anywhere on your body? And little did he know there was. It was located on his butt, and as it said, Imai, something, bro. These names getting hard. Megumi looked on his body, and it wasn't just on the rabbit. He also had a crux on his stomach. And this is where Megumi had his little eureka moment. He found out what it was. Her power was based on a constellation. He screamed that out to Panda, and then she heard it, and she was like, anybody that knows anything about stars can say that. But then he hit her with a, not just any constellation, the Southern Cross. And hearing that shook her up. She was like, how do you figure that out? But still, there's a lot more to it. You can't just beat it or nullify it just by knowing that bit. And if y'all know anything about Jujutsu powers, bro, oh my god, it's like explaining the meaning of life. Brother, I do not know, but I'll for sure try my damn best. So lock in and listen, cause I don't know if y'all gonna understand it. Basically, at first, Megumi thought there was 4 points and it only keeps you a certain amount away from each other. But that fell apart when he realized Kirara can get close to the door and he can get close to Panda. So it had to be something else. Then Panda asked, he said, why didn't she just run inside and close the door and then it's game over for us? And then Megumi was like, you're right. That means she's protecting something outside that if we break, it cancels the whole thing out. And that means there's at least 5 stars. Kirara realizes they're getting close to figuring this whole thing out. So she goes on the offensive and she tries to hinder their progress. Yeah, where you get that one from? She jumps onto a car and puts the same star that's on Panda, and that sends them both flying towards each other. He catches it, and then he tries throwing it with his dumb ass. And then the car starts flying right back at him, completely expected. Then Megumi starts having a thinking session again, and I'm not gonna lie to you, I'm gonna keep this one short because I'm not trying to go through all this again. Basically, he realized she puts the little tags on cursed energy, like she doesn't really put it on like objects. When he realized that, he started looking for traces of cursed energy. And then he seen the concrete block for the parking spot, and it had a star on it. So in theory, all he had to do was go through the parking spot and then go through her, and then he can get to the door. And he was thinking it was that easy because he thought since he already has a star on him and another thing, she can't put it on another thing to like make it attract to him. You know what I'm saying? It's like, this is getting insanely hard to explain. Even though his guess was right, it was also wrong because all she had to do was take the star off herself and just put another star that has a crux on it, and that will go flying towards Megumi. And no surprise, that's exactly what she did. But there was something that she didn't realize. Megumi put his dog behind a wall so it was stuck there, and the moment she got in between him and the dog, he set it free. And since it was flying towards him, it was able to grab her and hold her down. And from there, Megumi just got on top. Not like that, but he got on her. Wait, fuck. He just held her down himself. He gets off of her, and then he bows his head down and says, please just listen to what we have to say. And finally, she agreed. But before they could even get started, Yuji gets sent flying through the door. Hakari gets out and he just starts pummeling Yuji. Yuji would get hit with something insane, and then he would just get right back up and not throw anything back. He wouldn't even try to block the hits or nothing. No defense, no offense. Just stand there and get hit like a punching bag. Hakari realizes and he's like, this nigga's insane. But he starts playing the game. He says, bet, I'll listen to what you have to say for as long as you stay standing. Kirara starts yelling to him. She's like, these kids want our help. And he's like, bitch, didn't I just say I'd listen? Before Hakari goes back to using Yuji as a punching bag, he asked him a question. He said, out of everybody you could have asked, why did you come to me for help? Yuji answered the question simply. He said, my upperclassman said you were strong. He didn't like that answer. He said, if you're gonna come here and ask me to risk my life with you, don't tell me somebody sent you. You gotta convey it with a fever like you really want me to. Then Yuji came back with a cold response. And by cold, I don't mean like cool or like an insane comeback or nothing. He said, I don't have no fever, my guy. I'm a cog. A cog for sorcerers to continue exercising curses. He says, I'm nothing but a part in a machine. Hakari hated that answer. And if I'm keeping it real, it ain't the coolest thing to say. But shit, at least he kept it 100. But like I said, Hakari didn't like that answer. So he hit him with the meanest punch yet. And it sent Yuji flying, and he was just laying on the floor for a little bit. Hakari thought he ended it right then and there, and he told Megumi and Panda, yo, get your boy and never come back to me. I do not f with y'all niggas like y'all think I do. While Hakari was turned around talking to them, out of nowhere, Yuji came up right behind him. Hakari was like, bro, what are you made of? And Yuji answered the exact same way. He said, brother, I already told you. I'm a cog, and a cog has a role. My role is to exercise curses, and if your help is needed, then nigga, I'm gonna get you. But he didn't stop there. He said, hey gang, what's your role? I can't even hate. That brother Yuji cooked. Kirara yelled down to Hakari and she was like, aren't you getting heated? And Hakari was like, I can't lie to my fever. And then he just accepted it and he said, bet I'll help y'all. And then we find out he only accepted because his fever was at its highest back then when he was helping his friends. And Hakari, you a stand-up dude. You a little insane, but we all got our flaws. That's all I got for y'all today. I appreciate y'all watching. I really like Hakari in the manga, so I was like, yeah, I gotta make a video on this episode. And y'all see how fast I uploaded this, bro? Damn, I'm moving quick. And I got a whole other video for y'all next week. I'm not the same person no more. Hey, I hope y'all enjoyed. I'm gonna catch y'all.